So you want to play Destiny, but when you actually play, you may ask yourself, where do I start? What should I do? Why do I have to go here? Why do I have to shoot this? In this series of episodes, we'll start from a new character all the way to doing endgame content, all while walking new players through the complicated mechanics of Destiny 2. This is your guide to Destiny 2. When you first boot up the game, you'll be given the choice of Hunter, Titan, and Warlock. Hunters are quick scouts that excel into getting into the fight quickly and dealing high burst damage against bosses. Titans are your classic brawler class with abilities that charge in there and punch everything while providing cover for your team. Warlocks are the space wizards that can support a team either by spamming so many grenades your frame rate drops, or by placing healing walls to help during boss fights. While the community may argue about which class is best, all classes are equal in power, so don't worry about choosing the best character to start with. If you don't like the character you started out with, it's no big deal, as there are 2 more open slots to make a new one.
Guardian? Eyes up, Guardian. It worked. You're alive.
When you first spawn on, you'll be introduced to your ghost and given a place to go, indicated by this white diamond on your map. If there's no white diamond, then you can also look around your radar at the top left, which will point in the direction you need to go. Now is also a good time to adjust any settings you need to. To get to the settings, press I on the keyboard, start for Xbox, or menu for PlayStation. Next, use AD or the bumpers to navigate to the settings tab over on the right. Here's where you can change different button layouts, sensitivity, and sprint turn scale, which is how fast you can turn around when sprinting. Once you've got all your settings down, progress further into the building and follow the on-screen tutorials. When you get out into the open, you might see other new players fighting alongside you with a new objective on the top left saying push back the assault. Kill enemies in this area with your guns to see where the next objective points to.
Thank the light. I didn't think we had other Guardians on patrol here. Listen, my fire team's missing. I need backup, and... Oh, you're fresh out of the grave, aren't you?
We heard your distress call. We're here to help.
After the cutscene, you will receive a new gun from the chest. To inspect it, press either the IQ or Start button. This is your character menu where you will configure builds and equip different armor and weapons. On the left side of your character, you'll notice 3 different weapon slots. Kinetic, energy, and power are all 3 types of weapons that you can have equipped on your character at the same time. New items and gear will shine in their respective slots. Move your cursor over to the new gun that you got from the chest. When you hover over any gun, you'll notice that there is a lot of information to gather. This can be broken down into 4 sections: the name, type, and rarity of a gun, power level and what ammo it uses, the stats, finally the archetype and perks on the gun. You can inspect a gun further by going into the details menu. There, you will find a more detailed overview about the gun. Over on the left, there are different perks that you can select that change gun's overall feel. These perks are separated by sight and barrel options, magazine options, and finally traits and intrinsics. Then, to the right, you can see the stats and power of a gun with a brief description of what each stat does when hovered over. Now, one big confusion a lot of players get is what is the main difference between the power of a gun and the impact stat. The impact stat will be the same for every weapon in that archetype. So, for example, we have 2 SMGs, one being legendary, another being rare, but both have the same impact stat and intrinsics. So when we shoot these low level enemies in the starting area, you can see that the damages are the same values despite having 2 different rarities and power. What changes the weapon's true damage is a combination of 2 things, one being a weapon's power level and the other being the power level of enemies. The power level of your weapon scales with the power level of your enemies and is the main way to level up in Destiny 2. So against these high level knights you may have encountered, the lower power hand cannon is doing less damage than the hand cannon, which has a high power level despite them both having the same exact impact. Another confusion is the ammo types and what they mean. Primary ammo has infinite ammo and it will never run out. It can be found in both kinetic and energy slots. Special ammo are indicated by a green symbol and in general do more damage than a primary weapon does, but with a limited amount of ammo in the reserves. Ammo can drop from enemies as a small green brick and has an uncommon drop chance. Special weapons can be found in both kinetic and energy slots. Heavy ammo is indicated by a purple symbol and has a finite amount of ammo like special weapons, but in general do the most damage and can only be equipped in the power weapon slot. Ammo brick dropped by these are purple large bricks with a rare drop chance. One tip would be to have at least one primary to use as a workhorse and have a special and heavy weapons equipped for hard to kill enemies that a primary will have trouble with. Now as you go about finishing the objectives following the white diamond and arrows, Shahan will give you a new gun, only this time it's a special weapon. Once you acquire that gun, you may see that there's these bounties at the top of the list. Bounties are side quests that you can purchase using Glimmer that reward XP for doing. But right now, you can skip these as XP is not needed for now, and to not cause confusion when navigating the quest tab. After you close out of Shahan's menu, you may notice that there is no white diamond or arrow pointing you where to go. This is where most players get confused and end up lost. To see where your next objective is, open up the map the same way you did to fast travel, only this time, use the bumpers or AD to go over to the quest tab. There you will find 3 things featuring quests, bounties you may have purchased, and then these icons over on the left side that categorizes quests for you. You may also notice that there's 2 quests now. Learning Light is a tutorial on your class and subclass abilities. In a later episode, we'll go over subclass and abilities, but for now, let's finish A Guardian Rises, which is your main quest you've been following since starting the game. When you hover over it, you might be overwhelmed, so let's take it into 4 main parts. First, being the name and step progress. Currently, there are 20 steps in this entire quest, but we've only done 5 so far. Next is a main objective where you can see what you need to do and a progress bar to see. Then, right below it, you can see the lore and reasons why you need to do this. Finally, at the bottom, there's 2 options, a track and details option. Tracking option will give you a shortcut to see how much progress you've made by simply pulling out your ghost and either scroll down or use the D-pads to see. Tracking a quest will also mark the location you need to go, if it requires you to be in a specific area. The details option will send you to a bigger screen where you can see past quest steps. Current step right now is to defeat Fallen to recover data scraps. So let's track the quest so we don't have to open our menu to check our progress. Fallen enemies are these enemies that you see here, are located usually above the ground on the Cosmic. As you kill Fallen, they will drop data scraps. This is what you need to progress in your quest. Scroll around the map, killing Fallen until this quest step has been completed. When you complete this step, fast travel back to Shahan and he will give you a legendary scout rifle called Night Watch. Now go to the marked location and start the mission that's marked. You notice when you go near it, it will have a recommended power. This is what level the enemies will be in the mission. So if your previous gun is above it, then you can use it and do just fine. This mission is relatively straightforward. Progress through the areas and once you get to this area, there will be a green glowing circle. Stand in it to spawn in these crystals to shoot. Once that's done, you can ignore all these enemies and run through the building. Later on, you will have to defend your ghost from the different hive attacks, and you will be finished with the mission. Enemies you kill will also have a chance of dropping different armor or weapons. For armor, as a new player, you want the highest power level you can equip. High powered level armor means you can survive higher difficulty enemies. When you finish the mission, wait for the countdown timer to end and you will spawn in this area. Fast travel back to Shahan to progress the quest. When you arrive, you'll be given a sparrow, which is a faster way to travel across the map without using fast travel points. To summon your sparrow, pull out your ghost and then press and hold the respective button associated with the summoned sparrow. To boost, press and hold either the left trigger or right mouse button. We're going to use our sparrow to travel to the next objective indicated by a white diamond. The next couple of objectives we have to do are pretty simple. Just go around collecting loot and killing things. At the end of the mission, we face off against the boss, so use your special and heavy weapons against them to make the fight go quicker. Once that's done, revive Shahan and the mission will end. You'll be teleported back to Shahan's camp, and there he will give you your ship. This will finally allow us to travel to the tower in different planets. In the next episode, we'll go to the tower to meet the different vendors and talk more about our abilities and elements, as you may have noticed on some of our guns. So until then, I hope you all have a good day, and catch y'all later.